Hello everyone and welcome back to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. So guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make a slanted waistline and a Basque waistline, two different methods each. So you are going to learn two different techniques. So at the end of the day, this was what I did. This was what actually gave birth to this video. So these are the materials. So actually this was the dress I was making why the idea to create this video came. So that's the top part of my bodies, and then that's the down part of the skirt. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use these other fabrics just to explain, and then before we go back to the main dress that inspired this tutorial. Okay, so what I'm going to do, when you want to, so we're going to start with the Basque waistline. So to add a Basque waistline, two different methods. So I'm going to show you guys the two different methods that we're going to use. So this one is the first one, which is like the normal one. So what you do after sewing your dresses, your unlike this one, so after coupling, that's what I was trying to say. When you finish coupling your dress, the top part of your bodies, and then you bring the skirt part also, after sewing your skirt also, you bring them together. So you measure, so you make the length of the top bodies, make it like between 24 and 25. So then you come to the waist area, that's where the back of the waist gets to. You place your line. So for this I used about 17 inches, and then you just give it a slant. So that's how simple and easy this first method is. And then when you are done, you are just going to cut out. So with that you have created the basque. So you just slant it to the center part, and then you have created the basque on the top part of your bodies. So now the next thing you are going to do, now you take your skirt pattern. So just try, I'm trying to align them, and then you just try and align them. So what you will do, where you put emphasis, you look at the waist line. So from that top part where my hand is, just make sure that you leave like half of an inch or 1 inch on that point, and then just trace the basque waistline that you added to your top bodies. Now just trace it on the skirt, so you can see that's how simple it is. And then when you are done, you are going to cut it. So when you're cutting, just cut like 1 inch above. Don't cut on the exact line where you did the trace. So don't cut that. So you cut that out. So at the end of the day, you can see this is how simple and easy it is for you to create a basque waistline for any of your garments, and then you take it back to the machine and stitch. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So that Okay, so this second one we're going to do now, I'm going to show you how to add the slanted waistline also using this kind of method. So you come up by 1 inch, that's you measure your waistline measurement, that's the same normal waistline, which is like 17 inches from your shoulder to that point. So and then I'll come up by 1 inch, just make 1 inch. So this one is a very simple process. And then the next thing, I'm just going to slope that straight down into the end part. So the length of this top also, that's this top bodies, is about 25 inches or so. So these ones are just like the simple method of adding this kind of waistline on your bodies, on your garments. So after that, I'm going to cut out. So I'll just like cut the slope, that's the slant. I'll cut out the slant, okay? So after cutting the slant, this is what I will have. And then I'll take my skirt pattern also, I'll place it. So you place it, you just come up on that end, just that's on this the high part, you understand? So that's like the high part, just coming like 1 inch on that part. So place it, that's what I'm trying to say, like 1 inch, just come up by 1 inch, and then you will just rule the line. Just you remember just the way we did the basque waistline. So that's how you do this slanted waistline also. So you just slant it on the skirt also, and then you place. So I'm just trying to double check. So and then so this for this you can actually finish doing this before you turn with your excuse me, before you turn with your line, and then cut again, cut on top of it also, okay? So after cutting, the next thing, so you see, we'll take it to the machine. So like I said, I'll show you guys how to stitch it. It's a simple process. You just slit and sew it together. Okay, so now, okay, so in order for us to sew, so the first one we're going to sew is the slanted waistline. Okay, so you just hold it together like this, and then you just sew it. It's just a simple process, just sew it straight. That's on the skirt. So like I said, you can actually do this. After doing this, and then before you now begin to turn with your lining piece. Okay, so for this method, so you just join it together. It's a simple process, and then you cut it out, and then so you can see our slanted waistline there. It looks okay, so just iron it and then you are done. So after that, now we're going to do the basque. So for the basque, you come to the center like that, so you place it on the middle point like that, so you can use pins to pin it just to make it easier for you. And then you are going to start sewing it. So for this part, you need to be careful. You don't need to rush it, just take it gently, and then you will stitch it down. So I'm just trying to show this part for the sake of the people that are the beginners that don't really know how to go about this. So it does not have a bulge at the center. So that is why I am doing this. So after stitching one part before, okay, so I'm trying to cut out the threads, and then I would just fix it, arrange it properly, and then you stitch the other parts down. So that part you have to be careful. At times it can be a little bit trickish, but just go ahead and then just stitch it down like that. Okay, all right. So after that, so I'm just trying to cut out the thread, and then so you can see the basque waistline. So that's that. So you see it came out fine. It is okay. So just iron, and then you are good to go. Okay, so now the second method that we're going to do for the basque waistline, how to do it when you are doing like an inbuilt corset. You wear the top part on your dress form or on your mannequin or on the customer, and then you wear the skirt on top, and then you come to the center of it, and then you mark the center. So this one is a simple process. So after marking the center, you just come to that waistline. Remember that waistline, that half of that waistline, like from 17 inches, and then you mark it up to the point where you want your bar. So for this, you can actually eyeball it the way you like, because it is on your customer's body or on top of the mannequin. So you eyeball it, and then from that point, after making that V slant to come to the center point, you would cut out. Okay, so you can see what I'm trying to do. So sorry about that. My head was covering the camera. I actually did not know. Okay, so I'm just trying to secure it back so you can see. So like this, like I said, this is like an inbuilt corset pattern. So when you are done with that part, you just turn it again. So you can use either of this method to achieve this waistline. So and then I'm just trying to trace out the other part also. And then after tracing, so you can see, so come to the center and then mark how long you want it to be. Oh, so sorry about this. Okay, yeah. So because you need to stand in front of it, so that was why my head was like covering the camera. So sorry about that. So now you can see. So I'm just tracing it. See, you can see this is how simple it is. So now we've added, so you can see me dancing. When you are making something and it's turning out well. So after that, you just trim out any excess. So for this, you can actually eyeball it, look at it very well, arrange it on your customer's body or on top of your mannequin, and then pin it, and then make sure that everything you like what you are doing. So at the end of the day, you can see how it is. So you see the waistline. So all you are going to do is just use your hand, tuck it in, and then you can use your hand needle, you can bead it, or you can turn it from the inside and just secure it down. Okay, so that's your basque waistline, the second method. Okay, so now gang 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 gang, this is the tutorial, like I said, that inspired all of this. So this is the dress I'm actually making. So now I'm going to add a slanted waistline to this piece. So you can see the dress after sewing, you wear it on your mannequin, and then this is my skirt piece. Make sure that you have finished lining everything, and then you wear them together like this on the mannequin. And then what you are going to do, you are going to come, so it depends on how slanted you want. So for this, I came down with about 6 inches thereabout. So you can actually eyeball it. You understand? If it's not coming out how you want it, you will do it as you want. So you come down on that part, and then I'm trying to slope it into the top part of the waistline on that point. Okay, So you can see it is a simple process. So yes, I'm sloping it up already. So you just slope it however you want to slope it. Create your curve however you want to create a slant, a curve, whatever. So it depends on what you want, how deep you want to come to. You can do that. So at the end of the day, after doing it, once I like what I've done, I remove the pins on the side, and then I'll just begin to use my scissors to cut it out. For this, you have to be careful so you don't cut the bodies, the top body. So so try so much as you can to be careful. Okay, so you just slope it like this. So I'm cutting it out now. So like I said, make your dress, make your skirt, and then place it before you cut. You can decide to do it like this. You can decide to make it as a full skirt. So it depends on what you want. Just follow the process, okay? And then you will be able to do it. So at the end, so I'm just trying to trim it properly. So that's just basic. Once you have gotten the frame, the next thing is just trim it how you want it. Just use your eyeball it. So at the end of the day, you can see it's coming out well. So at the end of the day, you can see I came out. It came out really fine. Yes, I like the outcome of it. So you can see, yes, at the end of the day, you just tuck those parts in. You can sew it from the under, or you can just use your pins, your needle and your thread, and then cut it out. So guys, at the end of the day, this is how it came out. It came out fine. So thank you so much for watching. If you find this video helpful, please like the video, subscribe if you have not done